Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I am going to be talking all about beauty blenders and beauty blender dupes because this guy here can be quite pricey and it's something you got to keep repurchasing. It's not just like a makeup brush where you can just buy it one time and it's going to last you a very long time. This is something you got to repurchase quite often, and I have 4 beauty blender dupes that I want to share with you guys, whether they're good or not, if they're worth purchasing. So yeah, if you want to learn more about some beauty blender dupes, then let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, so let's just talk about the original beauty blender. This is the black beauty blender. I think it's like Pro beauty blender. I like this one better than the pink one. I don't know, something about this sponge. I just feel like it blends out my foundation and concealer a lot better. So this one retails for $20 US, which is like almost $40 here in New Zealand, which is pretty ridiculous just for like a makeup sponge, even though this is like amazing and I've been repurchasing this over and over again. So yeah, I love everything about this beauty blender. I like the shape of it, like everything about it I love. I've been using it for a very long time. The only thing that I could just like pinpoint that I don't like about it is that for me, when I try to pick up translucent powder to bake, it doesn't really pick up the powder that well. Comparing to another sponge I'm gonna mention soon, that sponge picks up the powder way better than the beauty blender, but nonetheless I really love the beauty blender. But again, it can be very $20 for a sponge. Crazy. Okay, so for the first dupe, I'm pretty sure this is no surprise to you guys. It is the Real Techniques beauty sponge. This is $6 US, which is way more affordable than the beauty blender. I mean, it's like a quarter of the price. It is crazy. The shape of it is a bit different from the beauty blender, so I wouldn't say it's like technically a dupe because it's not the same shape, but I like the shape of this. So what you get a flat side, and then you also get the pointy edge, which is also in the beauty blender as well. And I kind of like that it has that flat edge, because with the flat edge, if you just want to like carve out your contour and just clean that bit up, this like tip over here is perfect for that. It's nice to bake under the eyes with, just like really flat to really get into those creases. It's really bouncy. It's as soft as the beauty blender, and I really like this one. This is probably the most favorite dupe that I have out of everything. It just works well, it's cheap, and honestly when I got this in the mail, I stopped using my beauty blender. Like, I haven't touched my beauty blender in a very long time, and I did wet all my sponges just so you guys could see like the real size of it. What I also love about this as well, this picks up loose powder so nicely, and to bake with this, it's amazing. Like, you get so much powder on and it just gets in there, and that's what I really like about this sponge. Like, baking with it is so nice. It blends out your foundation nicely as well. Overall, I don't have anything bad to say about it, but for the price, the quality of it is not as good. I haven't used the sponge for like honestly that long, maybe about like a month or so, and you can see like the sponge is already kind of losing bits of it. Like, there's a little, I don't know, it doesn't look brand new. The quality of it is not as long lasting as the beauty blender, but in the long run you're still gonna save a lot more money getting this one than getting the beauty blender. For my second dupe, I have the Makeup Revolution beauty sponge. This one is $9 US, which is, I don't know, like a little bit pricier, but it's still cheaper than the original beauty blender, and this is like similar shape to the original. First off, I really do like the point of it. Like, it's very pointy. It's a lot more pointier than the beauty blender. As you can see, the beauty blender one is more blunt, but there's still a point, but this one is very sharp, and you can really just get into the nick of your inner corner. But honestly, look at this. It's like, it's so dense. It doesn't blend out your foundation nicely. Like, it kind of patches up, it moves your foundation. Ugh, I just didn't like how this worked on me. Like, I've only used this a couple of times because I wanted to keep like making it work, but it just didn't work. I would skip on the sponge because, I don't know, it just moved my foundation, and like, that's the worst thing that could ever happen when you're using a makeup sponge, is if it moves your foundation. Like, that's the worst thing ever, right? Like, you want it to blend, but this doesn't blend anything. It's so dense, and I don't like the sponge, so pass on this one. And also, when you're washing this does bleed a lot. When I mean it's bleeding, like the color, like when you're washing it, it comes out pink. So I don't know if that scares some of you guys, because to me that's kind of like weird, because what if like I'm putting it on and then like, I don't know, I get a little bit of pink tinge to my foundation. And for my third dupe, I have this one over here. This is by AOA Studios. It was only $1. Yeah, I know, it's only $1. So I got this off Miss A. Everything on their site is $1, so every makeup item on there is $1. Again, this one is very similar to the beauty blender. I would say it's a little bit bigger. And the point is like the Makeup Revolution one, how it's very pointy, which, you know, I appreciate very much. I actually like this. This works nicely. It's like a little bit dense. It's not as like bouncy as the Makeup Revolution one. Like, it's a bit dense, which kind of gives me like an arm workout when I'm pouncing my foundation in. So it is a bit dense, but it still blends out my foundation nicely. It doesn't move it, it doesn't make it patchy, nothing like that. It doesn't pick up powder that nicely as well. I don't know, with these sponges, some sponges pick up powder a lot nicer than others and some don't. It's weird because I think all sponges would pick up powder like the same, but I don't know. I used this sponge for body paint as well, and that worked out really nicely because I did a half skull for my brother for Halloween, and I used this sponge because this is like $1, you know. I don't want to use any of my other sponges in case the paint ruined the sponge, so I just took this one because it was like $1. Like, if it was gone, it was gone. Like, I didn't really mind because, again, it's only $1. And it worked really well. I was really surprised. So I would say if you're looking for like a makeup sponge just for like body paint, like you just want to experiment or something, and you just want to get like, you know, a really cheap makeup sponge, you don't want to like sacrifice your beauty blender or your Real Technique sponge because this is still $6. But if you just want like a cheap sponge that works and you just want to experiment, I would say, you know, grab 10 of these and it's only $10 and you can just body paint, experiment, whatever you like with this sponge. I think it still works out well. And this is the last dupe that I have for you guys. It's by Chichi, and this is $6 US, so again, it's very affordable as well. Just has like a little curve in the sponge, so if it didn't have that curve, it probably would have looked exactly like the Beauty Blender. The tip is not as pointy, it's kind of like a blunt tip, but I mean, it still works well. This is very bouncy, like not as bouncy as the original. Blends out your foundation or concealer really, really nicely. Does a great job, it doesn't move it. This also picks up powder really nicely, which I like, and you can just, you know, get in there. Yeah, I like this one. It works well. I like this one probably second after the Real Techniques one. So those are all the Beauty Blenders dupes that I have for you guys, and the only two that I would recommend for like an everyday basis is the Chichi one and the Real Techniques one. These two are the same price. They're very easy to get. All the Beauty Blenders I got are very easy to get your hands on. You can order online and they all ship worldwide for like a reasonable price. I was gonna get the Morphe one, but shipping here is like $20 and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not gonna spend $20 for shipping, you know? Like, even though the sponge is cheap, shipping is like, ugh. So all the sponges here you can easily get yourself. I made sure that everyone, whoever's watching this around the world, can get these sponges easily. There was so much more sponges I was gonna get for this video, but the shipping was just like ridiculous. So all these sponges are very easy to get and shipping is like, you know, reasonable. Also the AOA Studio one I would recommend as well, since it's so affordable and it still works really nicely. Like, I would still use this for every day, but it's not like my go-to sponge. If I'm experimenting with something like face paint or body paint, I would definitely go and grab this one because it still works well and I'm not gonna damage my other sponges. So I would still kind of recommend this if you're like, it depends what you're using it for. So yeah, those are my recommendations from the dupes that I have tested on my skin. So, you know, just a disclaimer, some sponges that you might like might work nicely on you and not on me, like vice versa. So yeah, that is my dupes. I hope you guys did find this video helpful and it's gonna save you guys a bit of money. I don't know why. I kept using the Beauty Blender for the longest time. I don't know why I didn't like try to get cheaper ones because it was so bloody expensive. But now I know, and now you guys know, and hopefully you guys enjoy the dupes that I recommended. And yeah, if you did enjoy watching this video, please give this video a thumbs up so I know you guys like these kind of videos. If you want to join my family, you can click over here to subscribe to my channel, and if you want to watch my last video, I got you. You can click over here and it'll take you to that video. And until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!